Right.
Hello, and welcome to Neil and Jan Resellers.
I'm Neil, and this is Jan.
And we do reselling.
We do reselling, yes.
So if you happened upon our channel by accident, we buy stuff at boot sales and places.
Anywhere else we can get hold of stuff for a very good price.
And then we just try and sell it.
And mainly we sell stuff on eBay. The occasional thing on Marketplace, but pretty much it's eBay.
Yeah, I've never really come to grips with all the other platforms actually.
No, there's a whole load.
Yeah, I've done things on Marketplace, but eBay's always my go-to at the moment.
Yeah, it's working nicely.
And anyway, this is the video referring back to Sunday, which was the end of August.
Yeah, hang on. It's Wednesday the 27th.
I'm losing track of time. So yeah, but when was the Sunday of the boot sale? Yeah, the stuff that we're showing today. That was the
26th, 25th, 24th.
He's using his fingers now.
Yeah, I'm using my fingers. I think it was Sunday the 24th
of October. And it turned out to be a nice Sunday, didn't it?
It was quite nice. The weather
pleasant
was
weather,
good.
but our local boot sales, the Rusper and Faygate are both, I think, closed now for the season.
Not that I'm actually planning to go to Rusper anymore. So. And
we had made a decision that we were going to have the weekend off, and we weren't going to any boot sales until Sunday morning. We woke up and said, "Ooh."
And Jen went, "Oh,
I want to go.
I want to go to one."
And I'd looked, and Ardingly was on. Ardingly says it's on all through the winter.
All through the winter, yeah. And they possibly have the an ability to actually go undercover if needed eventually. So yeah, there's a good possibility that there is a car boot sale there all year round. So anyone who hasn't been to
it's at the South of England Showground, and yeah. It's not a massive boot sale at the moment, is it? But
it's a boot sale. If you're getting withdrawals, it's like, I need a boot sale, give me a boot sale. Then it's one. So yeah, looks good.
And it's pleasant. I prefer the smaller ones for me personally, because I've got mobility issues. So it means I've got a fighting chance of getting round and seeing all of the stalls. Whereas all through the summer I was going to these boot sales and then I wouldn't see a lot of it, which is so frustrating, you know, when I'll be watching it on his videos afterwards and thinking, well, I didn't even get to that car. Yeah. And there was that one where your mum was selling and we never found her.
Yeah, we didn't even find my mum, so... But anyway...
That was at Shoreham, wasn't it? Anyway, cheers.
Yeah, if you haven't grabbed a cuppa, I don't know it's going to be as long as normal, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
Rattle through.
But it's always good to grab a cuppa whilst you're watching. So what's your, are you going to come to that first one?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that I've got a neutral feedback, which I was absolutely devastated because I've been doing this since 2003 and I've never had any problem whatsoever. And I thought, well, what could it be? Because I'm always really careful in my listings. I'm super good at packing. Compared to his packing.
Anyone's super good compared to me.
I had looked through and it turned out it was I'm not even sure if you'd actually call it a paperweight. It was a large round glass ball that I think was more of an ornament that was perhaps sold somewhere like Next or one of these shops as a piece of art ornamenty type thing. And the reason I said that is because the colour was kind of flaking off. So when I wrote, and it was larger than a normal paperweight. So when I wrote the description, I said, I think dipped in dye rather than solid colour all through, as slightly flaked in places. Yeah. So I thought, well, I'm saying that I don't think it's
solid
pink all the way through. Yeah. It was a reddy pinky colour. I don't think it's solid colour all the way through. So I thought, well, you know, I've said it. I've told them that the coating is peeling off, but then the feedback comes through as the amethyst is not part of the glass, it's a coating. And it's like, well, isn't that what I just said?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. That's exactly what you just said.
I think it's dipped because it's flaking off.
Yeah.
And my instant reaction is, I want to go negative to them.
Well, I think What if you well, I know that you need to send an email to eBay.
Well, Neil was talking to eBay about something else and mentioned it on there, and they said, yeah, I can have it removed. I've just got to...
You've got to message them and explain it all.
But I just think to give you a neutral or a negative for something that you've actually clearly pointed out in the listing is just so wrong. But anyway, I need to pull up my big girl's knickers and get over it, really, don't I?
Yep. Well, no, you need to send the email and get it removed, like you should do, because it's the wrong use of somebody putting a negative.
It's on my procrastination list.
You've got one, yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Shall we move on?
I have a to-do list. I have a must-do list. I have a want-to list, and they all come together as a procrastination list. And I just don't do it.
I don't have a procrastination list. It's too procrastination is too long. I have a can't be asked list. In fact, I would have a can't be asked list if I could be asked. I could be asked to do one. But
I've got a black belt in procrastination. He's absolutely honest with himself right at the get-go, and he said, "No, I'm not going to do it." And I said, "No, I will."
Yeah, no. Just start off at the beginning. Be truthful. Ain't happening. Anyway,
he does worse than that, though, don't you? He'll come in to me, and I'll be sitting there minding my own business. Would you like a cup of tea? Oh, actually, now you think about it, yes, I would. And then he won't make it.
I forget. I'm a forgetful person. It doesn't help with my illness.
He was like it before
I
he was ill.
I was like it before I was ill, but I think my thyroid problems kind of make it a bit worse. And thinking about things and remembering stuff is not always good. But I was pretty shit anyway. But saying that, I'm going to move on to an item.
Are you?
I bought something that you probably should have bought. Well, not should have bought, but kind of it's your kind of thing.
When we get to boot sales, 9 times out of 10, he'll go one way and I'll go the other way, and then we kind of meet up.
I think that's the best way. Otherwise, we're both fighting for the same stuff. So.
Well, especially because, which one are you showing first?
I'm going to show it.
Because on the way there, I said I'm going to focus on ceramics and glass and things because I enjoy it. And so what does he do? He buys jugs.
I picked up a jug. Actually, I picked up 2. This other one was at the same. It was quite a nice jug, I think.
I think this one is going to be worth more than the other one.
And the reason I picked them up is because the table was doing everything's 50p.
That's another thing that I loved about Sunday's boot sale, is there were so many people doing everything 20p and everything 50p.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the end of season.
I don't know if they're charities or something like that.
No, I think they've just been taking it in and out of their car all year long.
And just want it gone now.
just have it.
So when you know that as you come up to the table, they go, everything is 20p or everything is 50p. It's like, well, I'll have an extra, instead of not knowing and not sure, you kind of like hunting around, really, is there anything on this table that I want? Because it's only 50p. And you've only got to go, well, I've got a feeling that could be worth a lot more than 50p. I'm thinking maybe 12.
I have no idea what it's worth, but if you have a look on the bottom, it's Langley, made in England. It's got a...
And this is hand-painted Portugal?
Yeah.
So
that's a sweet little teddy bear jug, isn't it?
So that's my first 2 items. I'm quite happy with those. Obviously, I'm going to have to wrap them carefully. Not that I don't wrap carefully. I just wrap.
He just makes his own boxes.
I make my own boxes. I like making boxes. It's not very time creative.
I don't know if we could actually really officially call them boxes, though, could we?
No.
He goes round and round things with lots of cardboard.
And then I get the black. The black stretchy tape. What is it called? Black wrap.
Cling film.
The black cling film stuff. So I put some of that round it as well, and then tape it again, and then just put a sticker on it. That's it. As long As long as it gets there, I don't care if it's a box.
I think when he was a little boy, Parcel must have been his favourite game because everything has about 16 layers, doesn't it?
Well, I just want it to get there safely. It might not look neat, but if it gets there safely and the item's okay when it gets there, that's really... I see people on Etsy and they're doing these lovely boxes and they put lovely paper in it. It's the whole experience of getting things. For me, I think eBay, you get the item, it's safe, that's what matters.
Neither of us have ever been into wrapping things, you know, when it comes to gifts, Christmas and things. Some people turn wrapping a gift into an art form, don't they? And we just shove it in.
I think it's a good thing, and I don't mind having this as a thing of my shop. And I take this back very much from, I very much respect the company Tramper Boards who do the electronic boards that I do. They will try and reuse every bit of packing they can that they get coming in. And yes, it's a very good recycling. It also saves a lot of money if you can use whatever you can to repack with. But the whole idea of being able to reuse packing instead of having to buy brand new, well, I think the more we can do that, the better.
I'm currently using party political promo
brochures.
Not brochures, posters.
Yeah.
In A4 and A3 size. They're on really, really good quality paper. So I'm just kind of screwing that up and using that as packing. And I'm thinking, well, if people get it and they don't approve of the party, at least it's all screwed up in the box. And, and they'll think, well, I would have screwed it up and thrown it in the recycling. Or if they do approve of the party, then they might think, oh, look.
Yeah.
Who knows? But nobody's mentioned anything anyway. But I think, well, it's...
So what items have you got to show us?
Well, my first table that I came to had a 20p thing on the floor. And I thought, oh, 20p, I like 20p. And I found these two glass dishes.
So that's 20p each?
20p each I paid for these. They're a bit grubby at the moment. They need a good wash.
Well, yeah.
But they looked to me as though they were originally part of a dressing table set. You know, because they're both matching, both quite Art Deco.
Yeah.
They have bubbles in the glass, so I thought, oh, there's a good chance they're uranium glass, and we put black light on them, and they are indeed uranium glass. So do 20p little green glass dishes.
Which is nice.
So, and I think it's... I always really like it when you get that first sale under your belt, because sometimes I've walked around whole boot sales and haven't bought a thing. And so when you get there, it kind of bodes well for later on, I feel.
Well, my next item was also at the 20p table. Everything was 20p. There's a lot of boxes on the floor, so I had a good rummage round.
There must have been an awful lot of stores doing 20p and 50p then. Because,
and I spotted a Canon case. So, well, you always put your tea right where I'm going to show stuff. So if you put it over there...
Let's not have a domestic on camera.
Oh dear. Anyway,
that's a whole other show.
Yeah, that's a whole other show. But yeah, no, I always put stuff there, so it's like. So anyway, so we've got a Canon camera, and it looks quite nice. It's a Canon Z70. It's a Sure Shot Z70W.
Z.
Z-O-Z.
I was going to say Z.
Oh, I don't know.
Where do we live?
I haven't got a clue. But it's quite a nice camera. It opens up. Lens open up. I'm hoping that it's all going to work. I haven't even tested it. This is just the bag. So it's a film camera, but it's quite a modern kind of film camera, and I believe it's got a telephoto lens, so that is actually going to come out.
Yeah, I think that's probably late 80s somewhere.
I've got a
then.
feeling that they're selling anywhere between 40 to 60 quid on eBay. So providing it works, that's quite a nice pickup for 20p.
Yeah.
What you got?
I've got quite a lot of china today because, like I say, I was.
It's almost like a kind of a thrift off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well here's my bit, and what's your next good thing?
I did pay £1 for most of my things today. This one was £1, and it's a very unusual shaped cup there, or mug, and it still has its original price label on the bottom from the pier, £9.95, and it's a rubberneck designed by Jane Brookshaw, Dunoon stoneware, made in Scotland.
I like the tiger. It's lovely colours.
The tiger, it starts off that side and then, or it starts off there and then goes that way around the handle. And I just liked it. I thought it's quirky.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, for £1, I'm sure there's a profit in that. So
yeah, definitely. And it's a nice, you know, it's
actually quite a comfortable mug to hold.
It's also, the pictures are nice, you know. I mean, kids are going to like that. I mean, I love the colours of it. Let's just let that go out. I'd like to stay out for a while. Okay, so that's cool. Right, the next bit I've got, you spotted for me. Water bottle.
Yeah, because I've got a couple of these.
I really like that it's got the times to kind of drink by. If you want to go by that,
try and make sure that you drink enough in a day.
Drink enough. Paid £1 for it, which is pretty good. It's going to need a good wash. You've got a nice kind of nozzle to drink from.
And the straw goes all the way down to the bottom.
So you've got the straw. Take it all the way.
The one I've got has just got an ordinary top on it. Doesn't have the drinking spout or anything. And I think it was still £12 or £13. So when I saw that, I thought, well, that's a good price. So
that's not for reselling. That's for me to actually drink my amount of water.
I just like to have a big bottle like that in the bedroom, so that
I just think they're really nice.
Because we both have to take tablets first thing in the morning, and if you've got a big jug of water there that you
could always use it for weights as well. I mean, it's like, it's not going to be light
if you want
but no, I think that was a really good pickup, and Jan spotted that for us.
And I also like that it's got the strap on it.
Yeah.
And when we go out on summer picnics and things.
So I think that's nice. That's a really nice item. As I say, if I was going to buy one myself, it would cost a hell of a lot more. So that was really good. Well, I think you've got a lot more items than me this week. So,
and my next one was from the same lady that I got the tiger mug from, and I got this one, which is a 3D Tasmanian devil mug.
I like the 3D bit where it comes out. It's,
and this is Warner Brothers Studio Store.
Yeah.
Designed exclusively for, and the two mugs were £1 each.
That's good.
So
there's got to be some profit in that, definitely.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm getting on to more of my. Well, actually, one of the things that I picked up. Well, two of the things I picked up. One of the things is the guy who sells the labels. So these are the labels that that
we see at various different fields around the southeast.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy.
Not the labels, the guy.
But it's labels that we print off the addresses on, and it's the
because we haven't got a thermal printer yet.
Yeah.
We will do one day, but right now we're still printing labels on the ordinary office
printer.
But
also it's got 4 labels, and our printer only prints 2. So it'll do this side and down here when you turn it round and put it in the printer. But
I've tried all different ways of adjusting the computer so that it'll print on all 4 of them. Yeah. But I can't do it, and I've looked online and other people don't seem to be able to do it. We have tried using a guillotine and cutting the thing in half, and that works to an extent, but because Neil's using them for his storage.
That's one that's been used, one's been printed. So what I'm also doing is the other 2 that are there, is they get stuck on when I list an item, I clean it, I then I take photos, list it, then I bubble wrap it, and then I stick one of these labels on of exactly what it is and the auction number, and then that goes up into my shelving in the boxes. So we're actually, half of these I'm using for listing and the other half we're using for posting. So there's a pack of 10 sheets, so that's 40 there, and I picked up, I asked for £5 worth, and he actually gave me an extra one, so I got 6 packs, so that's not too bad. So yeah, it's good to pick those up. Another thing that I have actually I will show you. Blue roll. I picked up
Blue roll or loo roll?
blue roll.
Either or. Blue roll.
I picked up a bundle of 6 blue rolls.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was. You normally have this is like an embossed one, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you normally have the flat one. But
I do not, but
if
it doesn't
works,
matter.
it works.
It's a case of I use that for cleaning items up before I sell them. I also use it for cleaning my tramper board sometimes and things like that. So I bought 6 of those for £6. I think it's kind of a reasonable kind of price. Not particularly interesting, but yeah. So I got labels and I got 2 of those at the boot sales.
And again, from the same lady that I got the other 2 mugs from, I got this Winnie the Pooh, sweet little gifts on christening day, especially for you. And it's got all the Winnie the Pooh characters there on it.
That's really nice, isn't it?
Yes, Piglet, Pooh, Tigger, and Eeyore. And this is a Royal Dalton, I think.
I can't see that with glasses.
Yeah, Royal Dalton. That's
It's nice.
a nice little gift, and I did look up solds on these, didn't
Right.
I?
Yeah.
I think there was one that had sold for just a couple of quid,
Yeah.
but another one that had and that was in a box, and
Yeah.
then there was one like this without a box.
It's sold for more.
Sold for a lot more actually.
But-
so it just depends. You've got to stick it on, hope for the best,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Well, also, I mean, I wouldn't imagine that there's too many places that have specific ones for christenings. I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't imagine they'd be
Well-
overpopulated with. Oh, I'm going to get just right there.
I don't know how popular christenings are these days. I mean, when my kids were little, you know, everybody had their children christened, but I don't know if, because people don't go to church so much anymore.
So
I don't know
if
they
there's
do
less
so
of
much
them, there'll be
anymore.
less call for them. So it might be actually a rarer thing to get hold of.
Well, I just think it would sell to anybody who likes Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll stick it on and see what happens to it. The thing is, because it's small, I don't mind if it sits there for months and months and months before it sells. I'm in no great rush to get rid of it. I'm really into small things that don't take a lot of space
Yeah.
to sell.
Therefore, I kind of want fast turnover. I want things that are going to sell regularly. It's different stuff.
Well, I do as well.
Yeah.
But if I get things that I think I can make money on that are just going to, like, I've just sold, something I bought right at the very beginning of the summer. I bought a pair of Le Creuset salt and pepper pot, and I paid £3 for them. Must have been one of our first videos, I think, that we did, that I bought those, and paid £3, just sold them for 25. But they've just been sat there months
that's
in
good.
the box, but they're little, so they don't take up a lot of space.
Exactly. It's really good to
So I
have
don't
little
mind,
things.
you know, sitting on things for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of my stuff now is just repetitive stuff that I get on a regular basis. So we've just got a little free sat box. Has got a remote control with it. Again, I think it's £1 or so. There's nothing great about it, but I expect that £1 would probably sell for £12, $9.99, something like that. It'd be it's worth picking up.
And then the same lady that I got all those mugs from, I picked this up from as well. Just a rotary
whisk?
beater.
Is it a whisk or a beater, or is it the same
Either
thing?
or, it's the same thing, isn't it? But on the way to the boot sale, I'd been watching Josh from, I think it's JD Resellers.
Yeah.
But anyway, Josh, who does wonderful things with filler bag
He's a chef,
items.
isn't
I think he was, or at least used to be.
he? Yeah.
But he was just saying
But he sells them regularly.
it's a regular thing that sells for him, and this is a prestige one. It says on the blades, prestige. Can you see that?
Gonna put the glasses on.
Prestige.
Prestige.
Mind, I don't chop my fingers off with it, and stainless steel. So
Yeah.
you know,
It
so
looks
I thought,
good.
well, I bought the three mugs and the beater, and I think it was £5 for the lot, which is actually quite a lot.
Yeah, but it's worth. It's worth. It's as you see things and items. It's all about that.
Well, I think
recognising things, isn't it?
Those 4 things cost me £5, but I think I could get £40 or maybe even more.
Yeah.
Collectively.
Yeah, yeah.
So I still think that's a good investment.
That's good. My next one. It's just another Sony DVD player. This one doesn't have a remote. I don't think. No, this one doesn't have a remote. I probably paid too much for it. Because actually, the guy said £3, and I said, "Would you take 2?" He said, "Take."
I thought you were going to say, "Would you take 4?"
He said,
have you ever done that?
No, I haven't. He said, I said, "Would you take 2?" As it hasn't got a remote. And then because I only had a £5 note, I hadn't realised as it was doing it that he gave me 50p's, but he actually only gave me £2 change. So he still got his £3. But to be honest, it was like, well, if that's the way he wants to play it. But so yes, I paid over the odds for it. I paid £3. It's likely to sell for over a tenner, so there should be money in it anyway. But yeah, it should have been £2 because that's what we agreed, and then he underchanged me. Shortchanged me. That's the word. Shortchanged me.
Yeah.
So.
And then when we went to the charity shops in East Grinstead, I think did we do a video for that one?
I'm not sure if we did or not.
I can't remember. We went to charity shops over in East Grinstead expecting wonderful things, and it was they were all so overpriced, weren't they? Yeah. It was horrific. But I'd seen these beautiful little teapots, and like I said before, I get what is it? Not buyer's regret, because regret. No, because I don't buy it, and then I go home and think, oh, I wish I had. You know, I do every boot sale. I come home and I think, oh, I wish I'd have bought that. And
yeah, so not buying regret.
And so at these charity shops, I've seen these little teapots, and actually thought about going back to get one for me because I like them.
Yeah. And
I found this, which was the same as the one in the charity shop, just a little teapot.
That's a lovely red.
Enough for 2 colours, and my kitchen's kind of black and red. 2 cups, yeah. Sorry, brain gone. But Andy sold it 50p. I paid for that, I think. And this one is a Price and Kensington. Price and Kensington. So it's just a nice little teapot. Lovely condition. For me, and I thought, well, because I have got a teapot, but I thought, well, I can sell the one that I've got and keep this one, because how often do we ever have...
You never... Well, I don't drink tea, so, I mean, it's only you know,
if your mum comes over, there's enough for me and your mum.
Yeah.
And when do we ever have more than 2 people that drink tea at any one time? And even if we do, we
just do
dip
tea
a bag
bags
in the cup, don't we? So I just thought, well... And the other reason I use a teapot is if I'm brewing tea for the dogs.
Yes.
Because I use green tea to clean their ears, clean their eyes.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's very, very good for
tanning, isn't it? Is it tanning?
No, the black tea has got the tanning in. So if you've got a dog with conjunctivitis, then you want black tea. No milk, no sugar, obviously. But if you've got a dog with ear issues, and I spent 8 years with Reckless trying to get over, and God knows how much I spent at vets on lotions and potions and repeat visits, and we never got to the end of his ear trouble until I saw a video by a vet who said that if you wash the ears out with green tea, and then on the outer ear use Caniston like you get from the chemist, just straightforward Caniston, and after all these years of the poor dog being in trouble and, you know, ongoing ear problems, and it seems to have cleared it all up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I clean them out every month, 6 weeks or whatever, and these days when I clean his ears, they're spotless. So cured whatever it was. So yes, I do use a teapot for the dog's tea as well.
Well, I think I'm on to my last item, I think.
Really?
My last, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, this is a first. It's a,
yeah.
Because I've still got a couple to go yet.
That's what I'm saying. I barely bought anything.
Wow.
So this is a freestat Humax.
Never heard of that one before. But
I've had a couple of Humax of that brand.
have you sold them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Then.
So I think it's quite a well-known brand for that. I've got the manual for it. I need to look it up. That's the one that I've picked up. I've got the manual for it. I've got a feeling that it's probably one with the external hard. Yes, it says it's a digital personal video recorder. So it's going to have a hard drive in there, so that you can record the freesat. And it does also has a nice big remote control with it. So it's got the remote control. So that's pretty good. And I think it's about £2, £2 or £3. And some of these can go for well over £20. So again, it's kind of worth picking up. It's just the electronics. You just got to hope that it works, and go from there. Really, yeah, all good. And that was my last piece from the Sunday car boot sale.
Oh well.
So
I've still got a couple to go. Found this one. It's a lovely little coffee cup that I picked up just as the ladies were packing up. I picked this up and said, "Oh, how much did you want for this?" And they said 20p. So I said, "Well, I have that," and it's Port Merion. And so Port Merion, I think, has a value.
yeah,
It sadly has a tiny, tiny little chip just at the top. But if you're using that on a dressing table to put makeup brushes in,
yeah,
or in a bathroom to put your toothbrushes in, or on a desk to put your pens in, it's just a pretty little thing.
and if you don't,
And girls like pretty little things, don't we?
it's a pretty little cup, but more about if you've never heard of Port Merion. There was a I don't know, what was it, the 70s? The Prisoner. Was it in the 70s?
I seem to remember watching it at my mum's house before I left home. So yeah, that would be early 70s.
So yeah, The Prisoner was filmed there, and I mean, I think there was only like 10 episodes or something. I don't think it ran for long, but the houses there are
very, very unusual.
Really unusual, really colourful. I've been there a few times. It's a really interesting kind of place. So if you haven't ever seen anything about that place, it's really worth looking at. And then when you find out that there's some pottery from there,
pottery does seem to have value.
Yeah,
possibly just because of its name, but
yeah.
But anyway, little 20p.
It's a lovely little.
And like I say, it's such a shame that it's got a chip.
Little chip, yeah.
In fact, you could still drink from it quite comfortably. It's not a sharp chip, but I personally wouldn't like to, especially as it's second hand. But it's one thing if you chip a mug yourself. I mean, I had a mug that my mum gave me. It was a royal wedding. No, it was a Jubilee, Queen's Jubilee mug that I'd had for like 40 odd years.
Yeah.
And I'd started actually using it, I suppose, about 5 years ago, because I thought, well, it's just sitting in the cupboard doing nothing, I might as well use it as bone china. And then gradually, with other people doing the washing up, it got chipped and chipped and chipped.
Yeah.
Which was a shame, but there you go.
Anyway,
so
on.
Then the very last stall that we were at, he was doing 50p, and I found this. I don't know if you can see it. Neil, you might, because I can't hold it up because it's heavy.
It's heavy.
And I've got a shoulder injury. And it's, what do you call the name of the stone? It's, not alabaster, Oh, my brain has totally gone. But anyway, it's a natural stone.
It's a stone.
And it's carved out of the stone. It's got hand-done engraving on the inside. It's got a fish design and then a design all around the edge.
Yeah.
The bottom is flattened, but it does still have a very slight rock on it. It's not dead flat, but it's rustic.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm really fighting to find the word. It's some sort of marble.
If you know what type of stone that is,
no, it'll come back to me. I will remember it, and it's got all natural variations in colour in it, and it's just lovely. And it was 50p, so I thought, well, I'm sure that would.
Yeah. Not bad for 50p. It's got to sell, hasn't it? So that'd be cool. So
I've got that, and then back at the very beginning of the boot sale. Now I have a policy of only buying jigsaw puzzles if they're still in sealed packets, especially when they're in the thousands. And that one, as you can see, was a £1.
Yeah, that's really good.
And it's a 1,500 pieces in there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a cityscape. It's. I think what's happening at the moment is there's an awful lot of ladies' puzzles out there with pretty pictures,
right? And
the ones that are turning up at boot sales unopened a bit more blokey, cityscapes and boats and things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many men do puzzles and enjoy puzzles, but
yeah,
it just feels to me as though that's more of a blokey puzzle than a girl's one. But but anyway, I got that one for £1. So that's what I got. Nice few little bits and pieces.
Yes, really, it was a nice little boot sale.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was pleasant.
Look forward to going back to doing more.
I mean, I'll have to give those mugs and things a good wash, and then
but I think
and then do a big sort out all my photographs, because I've come a bit a cropper because I was doing all my photographs on my iPhone.
Yeah.
But then I can't cloud the photos over to the iMac because my storage, the iCloud storage.
Yeah.
I've maxed it out. I've got over 9,000 photos. Probably 8 3/4 of them are dogs.
Yeah.
Our dogs, not other people's. But you know, I've got so many photos on there that the iCloud's full up, and I won't pay any more for it because I know all I'll do is just keep filling up with more photos of the same dogs.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I've got loads of cameras, you know, and so I thought, well, if I dig out my little can't even remember what this one is. I think it's Panasonic. Yeah, my little Lumix camera. It's a digital camera. It's 18 megapixels or 16 megapixels.
Yeah.
So it's should be all right. But
yeah.
then I can just stick the card straight in the iMac and take the photo straight off there.
Makes sense.
The drawback of that is normally when I do them on the phone, I can then list them if I'm in bed or even, I've even done listings in the bath, laid in the bath and written the listings out and done it all on the iPhone. But it does mean that I've actually got to sit down and purposefully use the iMac to list them. But
I mean, I still like using the iPad, and I'm still using the app, the Photo Room app, which is working really nicely for us. At some point, I may consider actually paying for the upgrade. I think it's about £50 a year, which then gives you a higher definition picture, and it also takes their logo off of the picture, which would probably be quite nice. But it's a case of it's £50 to pay, which is quite a lot, and it would improve my pictures to have that. But at the moment, it's £50 I don't need to pay out. So at some point, I'll probably do that because I'm really liking the app. It works really nicely. It does a lot for us. I really like it.
Yeah, and then another thing on my procrastination list is I've rearranged all my storage. Where we used to have just boxes in piles on view in the lounge, I've now, I don't know if you can move the camera around slightly, but
do you want me to show behind there and show you what the camera will move? It's
will it?
Yeah, it's not linked. There we go. Let's go and have a little look.
Yeah, I've created a storeroom.
Jans, well, you keep telling us about the store. So what we've got is we've got the TV, and instead of the boxes being over here,
the TV was back against the wall in the alcove, and we've just moved the TV forward.
let's see if I can.
Created a stockroom behind.
So what we've got behind here is our, or Jan's. It's not ours. This is all Jan's stuff. So this is Jan's storage. And so you've got just about enough room to walk down there. And then.
But my storage doesn't actually make any sense at the moment. I tend to, when I get home from a boot sale or whatever, things tend to go in a box just in order of when they were bought. So
yeah,
just like like this box is just random box of stuff that just came last Sunday. But I really need to take everything out of all of the boxes.
Yeah.
And put like with like and.
Yeah,
so it makes a bit more sense. But the trouble with doing that is I've got to get it all out again, and because I've got this shoulder injury now, it's really hard to.
Yeah.
If I sell anything, you know, I've sold a couple of bits during the week, and it's been, Neil, can you get me G2 or A5 or whatever? And then some of that I've got, because Neil has it all computerised on your system, don't you? And he's always going on about how wonderful that system is, and it is.
There's always faults
when it's working properly, but when you move something, then it and exactly, because I'm always saying, well, I use the book, and I write it all in the book, and that works perfectly until I move something.
But that's the thing on my system is you can move each item. So for example, when I've sold stuff and then you get only a few items in one box and you want to put 2 or 3 boxes into one box, you can just grab the item on the screen and move it into the next box to actually show what it is in. Because obviously if you're selling 4 or 5 items a day out of all different boxes, you're going to get that there's a whole load of half empty boxes that you need to consolidate your stuff into.
The system of having all the things in boxes, because it keeps it neater.
Yeah.
And it keeps it cleaner, because
it also stacks easy. I mean, if you've got the boxes,
I can go right up from floor to ceiling with those boxes. That
and that, I mean, you guys have probably seen the films where I've done some bits in my room, and you can see, you can get so much more if you can stack things neatly. They don't, obviously boxes stack, and the things in the boxes don't have to be regular things that would stack otherwise. So you can store so much more. And I think that's a really important thing if you're going to have a lot of stock.
It's been an absolute godsend when I found the lady who gives us this supply of boxes. I really do. We would just be neck deep in. We would have had to. We would have had to have tried to come up with some other thing, and it would have cost us a lot more because we would have had to pay out for boxes. Well, even just posting things, because these boxes are so strong. We've saved ourselves a fortune on good strong boxes to send stuff in. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, I do need to do, perhaps that could be a video in itself, of getting out the folding tables and just putting everything that I've got all over the tables, and then putting it back and listing it sensibly. Because at the moment I'm thinking, when I sell something, I'm thinking, when did I buy that and what came with it? Yeah. And perhaps even having to look at an old video thinking, oh, it was, I got it at that. Normally my memory for that sort of thing's pretty good, and I can think, right, it came from Rusper, but which week? And if I can pinpoint the week, then I know what else is in the box. Yeah. And so if it's not in the box it should be in, then if I can just find near enough the box, then yeah. Sounds good. It's not nearly as organised as I want to be. but my brain's all over the place. So
anyway, I think that's a bit us wrapped up for this show and tell.
that's him saying to me, "You're waffling now."
Yeah, you are. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this film, please subscribe to the channel. I'm not going to say consider subscribing. Just do it. If you just hit the subscribe,
it really helps
smash
the
the
channel
bell.
if you can subscribe, and
if you also give us a thumbs up, that will also help other people to get to see the channel.
like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below, please.
Yeah, make it a nice one.
Yeah, apologies for this video. The dogs were playing in the background, and I know that can be distracting.
But we have
sometimes.
dogs, and that's their life. So
and that's why we don't do clothes, because one of the dogs in particular sheds fur. You can't walk through our house without picking up his fur, no matter how careful you are.
So anyway, we will make more films soon. Catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.